So give others about 3 minutes, then we continue. So we are in we're in this part. So you've done basics CCTV. Need to do basic knowledge. Then you have the whole product training and system training. So for this part, it's very fast and easy. This one is quite a bit long. Considering the training needs to go 3 days, that's the first training. That's why we are hurrying up. So today we are going to do a training on knowledge training. Then tomorrow we're also going to do an online training. So tomorrow we're not going to do a practical training. We're going to do an online training in the same about product training. So introduce camera, recorder, good network. Then you do our products that we have. You have then you do IP and HDCV system. The last will be configuration training. And then we'll be done with the training to certification. Okay, I'll resume in a minute. So we give the others about a minute to join, then we resume. Yes, hello, Bet. So should we do the third part, or because I think we are having a few people. Should we do the third part then, or we postpone until tomorrow? Because maybe David, you can. You can confirm. Okay, we have Muyanja joining us. So we were debating on whether should we do the third part training, or we wait. We do it tomorrow, because I think the participants are 2. So you guys can tell me whether. Okay, we have more joining. So should we continue the third part, or we wait for tomorrow? So you guys can communicate so that we know whether should we resume with the third part, or we have it from tomorrow. Now from the chat, we should continue. Okay. So you have people who are determined. Zefania Mwando. Should we continue because you have not joined us from previous 2 trainings? We've done two before 30 minutes, 30 minutes. This is the third part. Okay, so we continue because this is not a hard part. Kindly continue. Okay, now we resume. So we're going to do basic knowledge of interface and the network. So from the files that you can see, you can zoom in from your phone. So you can see we have basic network of interface. So it is the 4th slide that we are doing. Okay, we resume. So for the interface refers to how recorders and devices connect to each other. So we should, after this, we should be able to know about transmission, understand important parameters on interface and cable, understand application for each interface and cable. So this one is the hardware training, the connection and transmission. So how does camera connect to switch or to other recording devices? Get to know about them. So in this part, we're going to focus about network cable, coaxial, and HDMI and VGA. So video interface introduction. We have different video interfaces referring to camera, different types of connectors. So for BNC connector, bayonet NAT connector, that's the in full, supports video, supports audio, supports analog signals and resolution up to 4K. This is the common type of connector that we use with the camera coaxial cable, the BNC. So it supports video and audio. Remember, we're talking about composite signal, so video and audio. RCA, the normal that you use with for TVs, supports video, audio, no digital, analog, and resolution up to 480p. So this one has less resolution, this one has up to 4K. So VGA cable, the full video graphics array. The maximum resolution it can support is 3M, that's 3 megapixels. So you can judge from what is the resolution for 3M, about 20 something by 19 something pixels. DVI cable supports up to 4 megapixels, and it has a digital of DVI-D. HDMI supports 4K, does not support analog signal. This is the analog signal. So a BNC connector would connect to a DVR. So you see this, you'll have this connector because it's a male, connect to the DVR with the female part. Transmission distance is long and signal cable is stable. RCA can transmit both audio and signal. So the RCA will separate the audio and video to avoid image quality due to interference between these two signals. While you'd have only one cable to transmit audio and video in BNC, coaxial cable. VGA interface, so we have DVR supporting VGA, so these are VGA. So these are just a basic information, but you'd get to know at times there's questions with the examination part. So difference between a DVI, so a DVI will take up to maximum of 15 meters. So DVI-I and DVI-D. HDMI. Okay, I think these are information that you guys know. So for audio interface, we have different audio interfaces. We have this type of audio interface called Phoenix Ed interface. We have the RCA that we have talked about. BNC, the reason why it's listed in audio interface because it can support both audio and video. We also have 3mm audio interface, typical that you use in your phones. You also have devices that support this. Another audio interface is the microphone. That's from the camera. You see this small dot in camera's opening, that is the audio interface. 3mm audio interface introduction. So this is the most mainstream audio interface. 4-course, 3-course. Okay, we're going to do a network interface. So you have different types of network interface. We have RJ45, which is commonly used. So this network interface is that you typically use in get to see them in switches. Yeah, switches has more RJ45 connection. We have EPON. So EPON is so you have a fiber. It's a fiber connection. However, this one has RJ45 connection. Then the output is fiber. Difference between as SFP and EPON is that SFP would receive a signal of fiber, while this one receive an RJ connection. So you need to know the difference between the two. Then there is BD, bidirectional. So it's a single channel but transmits 2-direction transmissions. So you'd use a SFP between switches, and you'll use a BD connection between devices and switches. For network interface introduction. So for this fiber interface, we have different types of interfaces. We have ST, SC, LC, and FC. Maybe later you can do research on the same about the diameter information, because this is more detailed and it's not clear with the slides. Other interface introduction, we have RS485. So this RS485 is usually commonly used in access control systems. So different devices have different interfaces appearance. So RS45 is commonly used. If you have an RS45 in DVR, it will be used to control PTZ or get a control signal from devices. Most commonly used is for control situations. Yeah, like this, for this case, it's a DVR used to control PTZ. An RS232 is an interface that you guys will not interact mostly with. It's more of into the internal part of the HUA. So we use this interface to do resetting of devices, getting debug information. So if you want to get into the internal systems operations of a device, usually connect to the RS232. A USB device we use for mouse control, and then you have this mini SAS to expand storage. So we're done with the interface introduction. I hope everything is clear. So we're going to do a camera interface. So camera connections has different interfaces about video, audio, alarm, and power. So for to connect alarm with the camera, so we have cameras that have these interfaces. So alarm sensors always give additional information that we can't get from the video. Like for this case, this is a smoke sensor or what? It's a smoke sensor. So connect it with the camera. We also have IoT camera. So if you see something like this is a sensor. So IoT camera are cameras that have inbuilt sensors. I hope that is clear. So this applies in cases where you need to get alarm separately from other signals. So camera alarm output. So an alarm signal can be transmitted with the video plus alarm. So you typically have one cable that will do video and also alarm. So for the cases like video motion detection, tripwire cases, you would transmit the alarm signal in the RJ45. Or you have analog camera, you can use the coaxial cable to transmit the video and alarm. So the processing for the alarm cases will be done by the recorder, that is NVR or DVR. Also, we have cameras that have audio interface and output interfaces for alarm cases. So you can connect those output interfaces to sirens directly. So alarm out. So camera power input. So for camera power input, we can use a common RJ, that is the PoE, power over Ethernet. Other you can use coaxial, but not using this coaxial. You typically have the coaxial cable and the power cable combined into one. So the power will be transmitted together with the coaxial. That's what it means. So the output voltage of the power adapter should be the same as camera input. So recorder interface. So you have different displays for the recorder interface. We have power. This one is an NVR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an NVR 2108 or 2116 HP. So this one is a PoE ports for power camera, powering camera directly. So power button. So for alarm cases, how do you connect alarm to the NVR? We typically use this direction. You see, we have the RS45 input in the output in the recorder. So audio talk input is connecting the camera. It's where audio in. So our VGA output, then there is audio talk input. Okay, I hope that is clear. So connecting network keyboard with the recorder to control PTZ, just using a switched network. So recorder video input. So we connect the cameras to the video. So I think this is, so if you're not getting it, maybe you can ask, but I think we'll rush into it. So video output, you can use either HDMI or VGA for the recorders. For audio input, we have audio in. So remember when we were talking about camera introduction, there was something called a camera pickup. So the camera pickup is like microphone. So you'd connect a camera pickup like this, just connect it into the audio in interface in the the recorder. So this is when where your system does not support audio, or you need to do cancellation of noise. So audio out, you can convert it to speaker or transmit audio via using a HDMI. So recorder alarm input is connected directly to the recorder or either with the cameras. Alarm output, there's alarm output interface in the recorder. PTZ control RS485. So the yellow is the RS485 plus B. So it's indicated here. And also there's a sticker in the camera that will show you how to connect the PTZ. So this is the cases where you're using analog PTZ cameras. So debug. So use RS232. This one is for the cases where you have for the internal employees. So this one do not interact with. Power input. So we have different cameras requiring different input. Most of the PTZ, not all, require AC power input. So you use AC adapter. Also, other support DC. So if you use a recorder power supply for cameras, please concern about limitation of output consumption. Do not exceed with the limitation. So for these cases applies to those people who are integrating that is maybe other models of camera. So like other models of camera into the NVR. So some other models take more power. So you need to put into consideration such cases while using the PoE ports of the NVR. So we're done with this first three parts. So cable transmission, common cable production, coax network fiber. So coaxial look like this, both core cladding and sheath. So the coaxial cable can be classified as RG59 or RG6. Network cable is the Cat5, Cat5, Cat6, 7E, 6E, 6A, with the unshielded twisted pair. Optical fiber. So a multi-mode will take about 2 to 5 kilometers, single mode, more distance. So this is the cases where you have longer distance with the switches interconnecting between the devices to transmit information. Common transmission cable. So BNC limit is 100 meters, VGA limit is 20 meters, DVI 15, HDMI is 30 meters. So if you're using a connection more than 30 meters, you should do an extender. Okay, that's all. So any question regarding this training about cable interfaces? So I think everybody's comfortable with this. So you're having less participant, and I do not want to leave other people behind. So what I'm going to do, we're going to end this this training for today. So we'll meet tomorrow for more online training. So tomorrow we're going to meet at 11 a.m. We start the training. So any question or concern before we end the training? Then we resume tomorrow with the other parts. How can I access those PDF, please? So for the PDFs, I wanted to share with you guys, but unfortunately it has limits. So like you have to have an access right from the system, which basically means for me to access the PDFs, I have to log in and so on. So that's why I'm recording. Then you guys can access the video from YouTube. So the video will be available online for everyone in YouTube. So the link will I'll share them in the groups, or you can get to me personally. Then I'll show you. So if that's all, I think we can conclude the meeting. If there's no other question, then you can have a nice day.